What I have realized on this journey, the enemy already knows who we are. And if we're created to do certain things, especially when we got saved, it will try to taint you. It will try to get you to backslide. It will try to create some kind of offense. It will try to create some kind of strife, some kind of anger, whatever the case may be. It will try to reopen certain doors, create certain covenants that God already healed you from. Whatever the case may be, it will try. And sometimes it's not for that given moment. Sometimes it's for something like way down in the future. But it wants you to get to a certain point where you may question your faith, especially if you always had strong faith. It will try different stuff to get you to come out of alignment. And sometimes you might try seeking assistance in churches and stuff because you're not aware of certain things. It's new to you. For instance, in the beginning of my journey, a lot of this was new to me. So I try seeking assistance from church because I grew up a Roman Catholic. I didn't know anything about spiritual warfare. So stuff I was seeing felt like a sci-fi movie. It did make sense, but I just knew in my spirit that something wasn't right. So I had give myself to God to be used as a vessel. But I had gave myself so he could take me away from this world. But I didn't know what a vessel meant, but I said those words not knowing what it meant. I don't even know where it came from, but I said certain things and the unimaginary happened, and let's just say it was nothing but God. It was nothing but God. But on this journey, I really tried to learn. In the beginning, I really tried to learn. But a lot of people, because they used to certain things, like the Pharisees, they used to certain things. So you might say certain things and they might tell you, oh, that's not God and stuff like that. Just like when Jesus was doing certain stuff or saying certain stuff, they tried to tell him like, you're not it, like he's not what he says, he's not who he said he was, and whatever he's doing is not of God. Like whatever is that. So it's like I would just know certain thing and then they'll be like, oh well, that's not God or whatever. And I was like, okay, this doesn't make any sense. So then later as I start reading the Bible, a lot started making sense. But also we have to be mindful of conference we go to. We have to be mindful of jobs we work at. Wherever we go, we literally have to be mindful because this whole world is spiritual and the kingdom of darkness is strategic. Like I've realized, like people I knew growing up, people I hung around, a lot of them wasn't necessarily friends. A lot of them were assignments. Like they were placed there as an assignment to monitor, to ensure that certain thing does not occur. And sometimes we might take people advice, especially if we don't know, what's going on. We'll take certain people advice thinking, oh, they actually can, stuff like that. And then later you realize like they didn't actually care. It was an assignment against your destiny. It was assignment on your life. Even including some people who may have given birth to you could be an assignment, could be used as an assignment too. So you have to be mindful. And one thing I realized, a lot of people, a lot of churches, not saying all churches bad, not saying all people are bad, but not everyone who say God actually talking about the God. Like people would just say, oh, I'm a child of God. But are you really? Because you're cursing people, you're stealing from people, you're competing, and you're trying to tarnish the other person while you're competing in a way that's like you're not even saying the truth. You're lying. There are people who actually engage in witchcraft, and then they will try to send a solution to solve it. There are people who use hypnosis, and you might not even know you're being hypnotized. A lot of people will say, I believe in God, but I don't believe in religion. At one point, I was saying, oh, I'm not a Christian. I have a relationship. Because I didn't even want to be associated with some Christian, because some of the stuff I was seeing, at one point it didn't even want me. I didn't even feel good being a Christian, because certain thing I was experiencing, I'm like, there's no way these people are Christians. Because if I didn't love God, I would have turned away from all the things that they did to me. But because I didn't allow what they was doing, all the witchcraft that they was doing, get to me, I never say, okay, I'm not doing God again. Like, that wasn't my thing. Sometimes we'll go through stuff and the enemy wants to create some type of hate. And the biggest thing, hate and anger, those are the biggest thing that creates, plus fornication, that creates open doors. Those are like the biggies that I could attest to. Because sometimes the enemy will bring back old thoughts. And I start to realize, like, you know what? I already forgive this person for this thing. I already forgive that person for that thing. Like, why you trying to bring it back to my mind? And then I'll be like, oh, I rebuke it. then people will try to say stuff to get you upset, or say stuff like try to transfer their spirit. Like some people will have the spirit of anger and stuff like that, and they'll try to transfer it. If you respond to them in a certain way, then you end up picking up. It took me a while to realize that one. Like that's what was happening. And I was like, I get it. And sometimes we open doors. Like I said before, a lot of us need to deal with healing. We need to do healing. We need to learn strategies. Because even if stuff are spiritual, you have to learn strategies to deal with it. If someone likes to try to get you upset, then you have to learn how to ignore them. You have to learn what to respond to, what not to respond to, and how to respond to it. So a lot of stuff are spiritual, but learning, how to deal with it is the other thing. And then you have to, put in the work. Just like any course. You learn a course, you get tested, you don't pass, you repeat it, and you keep going. Sometime the Holy Spirit will just, make it easy. Because I had reached a point where like stuff was like so easy. Like people would try. It was like so easy. I wasn't even paying any attention. It was like so easy. And then I allowed certain things happen. But then I had to learn when things happen, how do I deal with those particular situations? Because even those became open doors. And while I was on my journey and I was trying to do therapy, I had people who I did talk therapy because relatives wanted me to go into therapy because they wanted me to have some stuff listed on my medical list, as like if I'm saying certain things and they don't have an idea what I'm talking about, they're gonna think I am out of this world. So I was like, oh, I don't wanna do any therapy right now. And later I ended up doing, the talk therapy, and it helped. But the person I was seeing, whoever they was working for, was into some kind of stuff, because when I asked for a copy of my file, like all the records was like just saying different stuff. Like it was not accurate to my information at all. And then I decided to do another one, and that person happened to be in some form of witchcraft, because they used to do videos where they'll say, oh, at the time of 222, which is 20 minutes after 2, or something, like whatever the case may be, they will say certain thing like that. And I felt something didn't feel right in my spirit, and then I stop. And they will ask me to do something, and then they'll ask me a particular question, right? And then I'll write down my answer. And even when I was having dreams, I would talk about certain things, I didn't know. I was learning. And a lot of my dreams were revelation. At the time, I didn't know. I was still learning. Because I was told before, my dreams used to be because, oh, I probably ate late or something like that. So it took me a while to realize it was insight. So I was feeding this witch information so she could pray against me without even realizing that. So then I stopped that. And later, I think it was like it was a couple months after I moved, then I decided to get someone else. And I heard an audible clearly. Don't do it. She's like the other one. And I dismissed it. And I paid daily. I paid for it. I paid daily for that one because I dismissed it. So I had to suffer the consequences. And yeah. So you'll go places, you'll do things. Ooh, I don't know why I'm saying this, but hopefully it helps someone. Something I also did that didn't make sense at the time, I didn't understand what certain revelation meant. And I didn't know I had to, like, ask God for clarity. I didn't know all those stuff. So I got rid of a lot of stuff. Stuff I needed to get rid of, and some stuff I didn't. But be mindful when you getting rid of stuff. Because sometimes the enemy could be very deceiving. Yeah. Because I got rid of this bench like my dad girlfriend sent for me. And I thought it was like so cute. It was like a bear. Yeah, like a little bear bench. And it had like a book to go along with it. And I got rid of it. Yeah. And I wish I didn't. Because sometimes you want to share stuff with people and not everybody happy for you. Whole time I didn't even know, like, or I was like in spiritual warfare. Like, it didn't dawn on me until like later. Because I was new to all this. I was new to all this. Only when I was in the hospital and I was like telling them, I'm like, get me a pastor, priest. I'm like, somebody about to do witchcraft for me. Like, I didn't know I had the authority. Like I said in a previous video, I didn't know I had the authority, to cast, pull down strongholds on all this stuff. I didn't know all that. And be mindful of people that don't really care about you. They will know you going. I said that before, but I need to repeat it again. They'll know that you're going through certain things. They'll just call to see how you're doing and see, what's going on, but never really try to help. And they have the ability to help. And you're not just saying, like, they have the ability to help. So they don't really care about helping you. They just care about helping themselves. Because I had people who call me to, I thought, oh, maybe they changed. They called to like check up or whatever, and they took whatever they wanted to hear, twisted, and then told other people whatever they wanted to see. So not everybody who really want to find out something really cares. Like now I still have people that call once in a blue to like ask certain question, and I could already know like, yeah, I don't say much. I don't. And it's crazy. But be mindful. If God tells you to stay away from relatives, stay away from relatives. It doesn't mean you hate them, and it doesn't matter what they want to say. Like, I still have people like looking at me weird. I don't care anymore. I don't. Because you will end up changing yourself or trying to prove people wrong, and then end up losing parts of the version of you that God already healed. You will end up losing so much more in the process by trying to improve the people. And sometimes you're not even proving to people, you're proving to their demons. Because a lot of people are used, especially so like if you're within a certain family and you're the one being used to change certain thing, they will come after you. They will try to break you. They will try to say stuff. And you have to be strong to rebuke those things. You have to be strong to understand. Even when you get revelation, you have to be strong to deal with it. And I realized like God will be there. People will disappear, but God will always be there. And there's time when I cry and I apologize to God, and I look back on my life and I thank God for stuff he has done, and I've seen ways he has protected me, and I see like how he was even strategic in how things were done. Even if the enemy chose to do stuff to break me, like he was strategic. Like, let me see how you call it. My grandmother is like passed on, but she used to like write me letters. So I noticed that my aunt used to write me letters, so my mom did too. But the ones who already passed, like it started to fade a little, and I wanted to save it. So I got them laminated, because every time I read these letters, it's like I get like a different meaning from it. And then I see how deep God thought about certain things. Because my grandmother, she wanted me to keep reading my testament. She wanted me to behave myself. She wanted me to do good in school, pay attention. She wanted me to meet people, make friends. And I must admit, my aunt did tell me I was a handful, as I said before. But Not in a bad, I wouldn't say it's like in a bad way. I'm just like busy. And I didn't like being around a lot of people. And now I know why. Because I'm able to, know when people are fake. So I might have I used to act certain way around certain people, but I didn't know what it meant. So they all thought like, I wasn't being nice, but that wasn't the case. I just know those people wasn't real. And I didn't care to, smile in their face knowing they not genuine. So now I know. And then like sometime I'll want to smile and then I'll feel something in my spirit and I'm looking at the person like, I don't like your demons, but my face is doing a whole different thing. So when I read that, I was like, man, Lord, help my facial expression, because I think I'm doing one thing, but my facial expression is doing a whole different thing. So yeah, despite whatever I've experienced, my experience might not be like yours might not be like someone else, but everyone experience might be similar to someone else, but never allow someone to say, oh, mine was worse than yours. Never allow someone to say that. I had one person I had signed up for like therapy, and they were giving me, the person was giving me an example, and they was like, oh, saying this is worse than somebody else, or this was worse than mine. And I'm like, okay. In that, like, it was just showing, since giving me red flags, so I end up canceling that. And once the person started discussing other people's stuff, I'm like, it was just giving me red flags, so I stopped it. And I discerned something spiritually that my spirit wasn't comfortable with, so I stopped it. So you know what you experience. God knows what you experience. Whatever you experience, it might not be the same as somebody else, but it might hurt you the same as it hurt somebody else. Because somebody could bounce their toe on a piece of stone. Somebody could put their elbow on the door. It's not the same thing they hit. One might be bruised, one might not. But it might pain both individuals the same. But the one with the skin exposed will say yours is not as bad as mine. Like, how you know? Not because the person's skin is not exposed doesn't mean that they not feeling the pain that occurred to them. How are you to tell that person mine is worse than yours? You could say, okay, I understand what you experience, but don't let it destroy you. So yeah, no matter what you're going through, look at the ways God has been good. And the enemy's tactic is normally the same. And now I'm mindful of people I'm around, and Yes, I know I need community, but I'm in no rush because I was so busy looking for community. It set me backwards. It sent me in a backward spiral because it took from me. Now I need to see God, like, God, have me, have your way.